Okay, hi everyone, this is just another update video of my bike. I'm not sure if you've seen my previous video. I've actually upgraded to a S-Works Venge frame. I was running a Tarmac Specialized 2019 Specialized Tarmac SL6. I've decided to make the upgrade to the S-Works Venge. So in this video I'm just going to run you through my experience so far with the bike and how I find the bike. Long story short, I just upgraded the frame from my previous bike. Everything is pretty old except the group set. The rest are all from my previous bike. So from the front I have this is a Garmin H520. It's a really good cycling computer. I was previously running the Brighton Rider 420. It is a good enough cycling computer, the Brighton, for a beginner. It has all the metrics that probably a Garmin has, but the only difference and the reason why I upgraded to a Garmin was because the Brighton needed some time to start up before I go on my ride. If not, it will always crash, and midway through my ride sometimes it just doesn't pause and my average speed will just keep crashing, come crashing down. So it's a very expensive, I wouldn't say it's very expensive, but it's quite a big upgrade for me from going from a Brighton to a Garmin. And also Garmin has a lot of different functionalities, different widgets. It's really good for training, but for a weekend rider like me, I think it's a bit too powerful for me. I don't really use all those metrics, but it's a good to have. The special thing about this Specialized or S-Works is their stem. There's actually an opening over here. Because it's an Aero frame, usually you will come with the Aero fly and there's usually no space for you to hook your cycling mount. So they came up with this stem where there's actually a cut, it's an inlet here where you can I'm not sure if Specialized comes out with their own mount, I'm not too sure, but I think they do. Or there's a bar fly mount that you can actually fit into the stem. This is a third-party Chinese mount which I got like for $5, and it's really cheap. But the problem is it's can you hear that rattling sound? Yeah, it doesn't fit perfectly, but I mean, what can you expect for a very cheap mount, right? And here I have the exposure light. It's very small and tiny, but it's super bright. I don't really fancy the way this was designed, because when I need to charge the light, there is this rubber ring that you see here. Maybe because the light is so small, that's the only way they could put the USB outlet. You have to flip this open and then you can reach the USB port there. So it's a really stupid design, I think. But nevertheless, I think it's quite a very powerful light, and I like it because it's very small and it's not very heavy. So moving on, I have the I'm not sure what model this is, but it's the Enve Cockpit. It's a carbon bar. This is a size 36, I think. So hoods to hoods it's a 36, and on the drops I think it's a 40. Can't remember if it's a 36 or 38, but I think it's a 36. It's quite narrow for my size. The reach, I found the reach when I first got it, when it was on my SL6, was really long. The reach from this end to this end was quite long. So in my previous SL6 I was running a size 54. I had to actually shorten the stem to a 90 to compensate for the longer reach. The stem is it's a Venge stem. It's a 6 degree 100mm. I got this frame actually second hand. It's a size 52. I'm 173 centimeters tall. Don't ask me what my inseam is because I don't know. But a 52 for me fits really well. I could actually slam this lower. I might do it in the future, but for me this setup is just okay. You can see the drop is not that Aero, but it fits me. It's a size 52 Fact 11R if I'm not mistaken. Is it zooming in? Yeah, there you go. So I understand that most people normally just buy the Specialized frame rather than S-Works. I'm not sure what's the difference, but since this is the only frame that I could get, this is a 2020 model. It comes in this colorway, silver. I think it's really nice. I just love the look of the Venge. It looks so aero and aggressive. It looks fast. I just don't like the look of the new SL7 where it merges. Like, it looks like a mutant to me. It's like you don't know whether it's an aero bike or it's a all-rounder bike. So just not for me, personal preference. I just like Venge. I hope they come up with something like this in the future. Yeah, So yeah, this is a size 52. I got this second hand. It's not cosmetically, it looks okay, but there are a few scuffs here and there from the previous owner. I think he also might have repainted the bike, but I just can't tell. When I rub my hands around the paint job, I could feel some surfaces were a bit uneven, so I suspect that it was repainted before. But visually, from the naked eye to the naked eye, you can't see what are the differences, so I think it's still okay. By far, this is the fastest bike I have ever ridden, especially trying to maintain about 35 kilometers an hour with combination of these wheel sets. This bike is really fast and it's very compliant. I think it's maybe because the way the seat stays are designed, so you don't really feel the bumps as much. It feels a bit softer, like as if there's some suspension there, if I'm over exaggerating. It is really one of the best bikes. I think Specialized and S-Works really did a lot of R&D, and maybe that's why it's so expensive, but it is really one of the fastest bikes I've ridden so far. Maybe I have not ridden any faster bikes, but this is really an amazing bike. Another major upgrade I did was upgrading to Altegra Di2. So I'll just talk a bit more about the Altegra Di2 coming from a mechanical, from someone who has been riding mechanical for the longest time. I find the Di2, I mean, once you've gone electronic, you'll never go back. But I have to get used to shifting, because now this entire lever does not move. So in previous mechanical group sets, you have to push this entire lever to shift this is the rear derailleur. To shift upwards. So but now with the Di2, you just have to click on this button here, and just this two. So it was a bit hard to get used to initially, because I tend to push the big one, the big lever, but you just have to tap on this too. And a few people asked me whether does it shift very easily by just tapping. The answer is no. You have to kind of click on it and you hear the shift. So let me just demonstrate. I'm not sure if you can hear this on the camera. Yeah, you hear that click? Yeah. So you have to kind of click it, you just can't just tap. See, there's a bit of play. So if you click on it, nothing moves. You have to push and hear the click. No, you see there's a bit of play. Click again, and it shifts. So yeah, the finish on this is really good. You can see there's a bit of scratch. I just dropped the bike. Really good finish. Yeah, there's a bit of scratches, but it's okay. Yeah, it still works. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got a QUARQ power meter here as well. So it's a 160mm crank and a DuraAce. It's a DuraAce outer chainring, but the inner chainring is still in Ultegra. The reason why I got a DuraAce is because it fits perfectly with the aesthetically. It fits with the QUARQ DFour power meters. It's meant to be made for the DuraAce group set. So if you run the Altegra chainring on a DFour power meter, it looks a bit ugly because the joints here just do not sit properly if you are running the Altegra chainring. So that's why I upgraded the DuraAce chainring, and I've got the DuraAce rotor as well. The previous rotor was a bit bent, so I just upgraded to the Altegra. It just looks a bit nicer. I've got the black paint on the rotor. So that's about it. I think that's my opinion on this bike, and I think it's a really fast bike. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.